So Lou, Nick, and Jacob are back for another round of time travel fun in Hot Tub Time Machine 2. John Cusack is nowhere to be found. Does it matter? Hot Tub Time Machine 2 stars Craig Robinson, Rob Corddry, Adam Scott, and Clark Duke. The first Hot Tub Time Machine was kind of a surprise to me. I really enjoyed it, did not expect to like it. I thought it had a great mix of comedy with a little bit of sci-fi and some time travel in there, and it had some gut-busting laughs in it. At the end of the last one, Lou, played by Rob Corddry, became the lead singer of Motley Crue. Yeah, you heard right. The second Hot Tub Time Machine pretty much picks up where the first one left off. The beginning of the movie, there's this big party that Lou's throwing. Lou is still the most narcissistic, self-absorbed guy you could possibly imagine. You can see that in the artwork on his house. There's some pretty funny paintings in his house too, especially the one on... I'm laughing just thinking about it. You'll know exactly which painting I'm talking about when you see it. It's pretty hilarious. And anyway, so Lou's walking down the stairs and somebody shoots him. And this pretty much sets up the basic premise of the movie. Luckily, Lou is so rich that he's got his own time machine, so they jump in the time machine. There's a scene at the beginning where they're in this time machine, and it looks like they're having a big party in the hot tub, which was kind of weird to me. But I was willing to say, okay, whatever they got to do to get through it. And then they go to some point in time, and they're not sure what point in time they're at. And then they find out that they're in the year 2025. But Lou is still alive. So Jacob, Lou's son, explains why Lou is still alive. And they kind of use the Back to the Future 2 plot where they're in an alternate timeline. So like say this is the normal timeline. And then they're in an alternate timeline where they take 2015 and move it over in front of 2025. It's all confusing, I know, but time travel movies are like that. You watch it and you'll understand it. The first Hot Tub Time Machine was a really fun movie, I thought. I liked how they added time travel in it. John Cusack was really a good part of the movie. He wasn't necessarily the funniest part of the movie, but he was kind of the glue that held the whole plot together. And he is sorely missed in this movie. But there were a lot of laugh-out-loud, gut-busting moments. I will definitely give it that. I thought it was really funny how they showed how we have gotten dumber as a society, and the game shows are a reflection of that. And let me just say, this is my first comedy review, and you don't want to give away any of the laughs, because then that just kind of ruins it. But let me just say, the game show scene, my sides were aching. That scene was so funny. Oh my God, just thinking about it, I'm wanting to bust out laughing. But that scene almost made it worth the price of admission alone. There's also a scene early in the movie where Adam Scott's character comes on board and they're at the party, and Adam Scott just steals that scene. He is so hilarious. And while we're talking about Adam Scott, he pretty much stole Step Brothers. He played Derek Huff, and oh my God, he was just the biggest jerk you could possibly imagine in Step Brothers, but he did it in such a hilarious way. And he doesn't seem to get that much credit for it, but I thought he outshined Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly, and that's a bold statement. Also, Rob Corddry, I thought single-handedly stole the first Hot Tub Time Machine, and he's probably one of the most underestimated comedians out there. If you remember from the first Hot Tub Time Machine, there's a scene where Crispin Glover's character, he almost loses his arm in like 5 or 6 scenes, and Rob Corddry just sells those scenes because he wants it to happen so bad. And there's one scene involving Adam Scott in a tree, and Rob Corddry makes that scene hilarious too. Rob Corddry steals a lot of scenes in this movie. I mean, pretty much all 4 actors, they had their scenes in the movie that they shined, but for the most part it was Adam Scott and Rob Corddry that pretty much stole this movie. There are a lot of problems with Hot Tub Time Machine 2 as well, though. While a lot of the jokes were great, a lot of them fell flat too. And a lot of the jokes in this movie are definitely not for everybody. I'm not going to lie to you, this is raunchy humor. Raunchy humor can work sometimes, but when it doesn't work, it's horrible. And there are a few scenes like that in this movie. Also, when I left the theater, overall, it almost felt like this movie was kind of direct to video, if you get my drift. The first one just seemed like it had a bigger production value to it, whereas this one, it just felt like the bar was lowered just a little bit. I mean, if it wasn't for the gut-busting laughs, this movie would be really, really bad. Also, some of the time travel logic was pretty ridiculous, and they know that, and they make fun of it throughout the movie, so I'm going to give them a pass on that. They even use Terminator to kind of justify it sometimes, which can be silly. So in the end, guys, overall, I got to give this movie a humdrum. It was a good time at the movies, but it wasn't as good as the first one. Let me know what you guys thought of Hot Tub Time Machine 2. And while we're at it, I must recommend one of my favorite comedies from the 80s is Skin Deep, starring John Ritter. Most people don't even know about that movie, but there's a scene with glow-in-the-dark condoms. Hilarious. Please check it out if you ever get a chance, and let me know if you saw it and what you thought. Guys, I just set up a Facebook page for Drum Dums. Check it out, like it, and also follow me on Twitter. And thanks for watching, guys, and Rum Dum out.